about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Minnesota...
We are about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway in Southern California. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
On second and 11 now. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here's Cook again.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On third down, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expect it to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yep, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. Touchdown, Chargers!
Keenan Allen with a touchdown reception from Justin Herbert. And the Chargers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for two.
And that is going to be caught. And it moves the lead to 8-0. So they go with a pass there on the two-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their two-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have two-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
What, on that ball?
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe they'll be changing.
Touchdown!
Mike Williams,
29 yards.
and the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, two-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah. Well.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. They run it again with Cook. And some space here. The 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
61 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Kenneth Murray
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Here's Cousins.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray.
And he's into the clear. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams.
Now Cook hit and he lost the football.
And picked up by the Chargers. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free. And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Following the interception, Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On 2nd down, Cook. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Cousins to throw for it on 4th.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a 1st. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. In motion left goes Allen. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Herbert.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
Allen, the man in motion left. 3rd and long, it's Herbert. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Herbert.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. The slot man in motion right. On 2nd and 10, Herbert. Whipping one into Allen. That's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So the Chargers will start the 2nd half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. Herbert on first down now. Flush to his right. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carter. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run from Austin Eckler. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Brandon Staley telling his troops to stay out there and go for 2. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Hey, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Khalil Mack able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.